Welcome back to the Burbs to the Tetons. So this is going to be a two-part series on finishing off a garage. It's got some major damage across the center of the roof line from the inflection of the beams going across holding up the roof. So I have to go ahead and repair that. What I'm doing is prepping the surface so that I can do a decent job spackling or mudding the roof. I don't think people take enough time to do really good prep work. It really matters a lot when you're finishing something, you know, painting it, staining it. Prep work makes a huge amount of difference. That's a head sock I have on my head. My hair is very fine in my old age. I guess in my young age it was very thick, but either way, anytime anything seems to drop on my head in my hair acts like Velcro and it just gets stuck in there. And the head socks are wonderful. It all falls there on my shoulders, on the floor. I rip off the head sock and my hair is nice and clean.
Day one I had a crush on you. Your smile told me you were something new. I'm acting like a fool, doing things I never do. I can't seem to concentrate. I'm thinking about the way you say my name. I haven't slept in days. You are keeping me awake. I can't explain. You just give me butterflies. I can't deny. You do something.
One of my pet peeves is having a clean work environment. I don't know how many times I've not taken the time to clean something up and then I like bump something, spill it, get something on my hand, touch the work item I'm working on, and then spend hours cleaning it up. So I've just resigned myself to always just clean up the work environment. So by day 2 of the project, I've taken everything off of this one wall, I've taken everything off the shelves, I've cleaned the shelves, and I'm painting the shelves as quickly as possible. The built-in shelves are a priority because I've got so much stuff that I have to move around the garage because of the amount of stuff that's stored in there that I need the shelf space. So I'm trying to get it painted so it'll dry, and then, you know, one day, then paint it the next day, and then give it like 48 hours to dry before I start putting stuff on it. I always find that wood takes forever to dry, especially if you're going to be setting anything on it.
Something to my heart I never felt. Something to my heart I can't figure out. You do something to my heart. Oh, oh, oh. Yeah, you do that something to my heart. Haven't been this excited before. You said I'd like to get to know you more. Showed up with flowers at my door. I am smitten to the core. I can't explain. You just give me butterflies. I can't deny. You do something to my heart I never found. Something to my heart I can't figure out. You do something to my heart.
It's amazing how often I come in to do a painting job behind a crew that did not clean whatever they needed to paint. You can just see the cobwebs and the other stuff all built up underneath the paint. Here I'm scrubbing these walls before I start painting, just filthy. And you know, took a break at lunchtime and then came in and started painting them.
Just when I thought I would never find someone, you came into my life. You did something to my heart I have never felt. Something to my heart I can't figure out. You did something to my heart. Oh, oh, oh. Yeah, something to my heart I never felt, something to my heart I can't figure out. You do something to my heart, oh, oh, oh. Yeah, you do that something to my heart.
Here I am a couple of days later putting the second coat of mud on the ceiling. Now I made a mistake on what I used for tape on this. I used paper tape. I should have used the mesh nylon tape. On another project several months after this one, I used the nylon tape on the ceiling and the paper tape on the walls, and it worked out much, much better. And the other thing is too is that the nylon tape works a lot better when you're repairing like a crevice or a big crack, where the paper tape doesn't do that well with big cracks. Now I'm using a masonry hawk to hold the mud, and I've used the masonry hawk and a mud pan, and I think I like the mud pan better for when you're doing that first big heavy coat to seal up, or go over the tape, seal up the crack. It's easier to scoop out big heavy chunks of mud on it and slather it on and everything. But for finishing, the masonry hawk is much, much easier to use. It's easier to fine-tune how much mud you're getting on your knife. So I'm working on the corner just because whoever put the drywall in to begin with did a really crappy job on spackling that corner, putting the mud in place. It's probably because it was for the garage and they just didn't see it as an important place to do a good job. This drywall sander is just amazing. If anybody is out there doing drywall professionally, they need to buy one of these style sanders. I struggled a little bit with it because I'm 5'8", but if I was 6 foot tall, it'd be perfect. You know, getting the angle right and everything else. The biggest thing I liked about it was the vacuum cleaner hookup. Now, the vacuum cleaner wasn't strong enough to suck all the dust down into the vacuum, but it was strong enough to pull it into the housing and keep it in the housing. So all I had to do was, you know, tap the head on the ground and it would all come out on the ground, all into a pile of like sand. So I had all these piles of sand on the ground that I needed to, you know, vacuum up afterwards, but there was almost no dust at all. Compared to what I normally would get dust-wise, it was like 1,000 times better. One of the things you see me keep doing is adjusting actually the speed of the head. You really want to get one of these that allows you to adjust the speed of the head, you know, how fast the sandpaper is rotating. Makita actually has one of these out now. It came out about, I don't know, 4 or 5 months after I did this project. So this gets us about halfway through the project. I think I'm going to go ahead and end it there, and we'll have a part 2 shortly. See you on the next video. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, please put them below. I love talking to you guys about stuff. And I'll see you on the next video, part 2.